Hi, and welcome to Libby Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our paranormal news and discussion. I've done this a lot, guys. Today's going to be about paranormal news. So Tom has our topic. What do you got for us?
So there's a topic, it's pretty big news this week. It's been popping up all over the place. Some scientists announced that they've discovered repeated radio signals coming from a galaxy that's 1.5 billion light years away. So what's really interesting about that, they've discovered things like this before, but the fact that it's repeated is very rare. And it's repeated, that they've found 6 different times now that they've gotten the same signal. What they know so far is it's repeated blasts of a radio signal. It's a low frequency radio wave, and that it can escape its environment from where it came from. They are, saying it could be anything from an exploding star to extraterrestrials. The signals are only about a millisecond long. But the energy that it takes for them to get here is the same amount of energy that our sun takes 12 months to produce. So it's pretty heavy stuff. And again, the fact that it's been repeated six different times from the same location they know. And they've gotten other signals like this, but none have repeated like this. So there's all kinds of stuff with this that has never really been discovered before. So,
alright, so my first question is how far?
1.5 billion light years.
Trying to wrap our head around 1.5 billion light years. My first question is, and I'm curious, how do you know it's that far away?
I think they can calculate the rate of the speed of and how much.
I'm just curious.
There's some kind of mathematical equation.
It's not like 3,000 miles. 1.5 billion light years.
I think that's how far away the galaxy is.
That's
it's coming in this galaxy's general direction, and that galaxy is 1.5 billion.
We've talked about this in other videos. We're literally treading in the path of astrophysics now. It
blows my mind that you can be like, yeah, this is just it's like it's just coming from 1.5 billion light years away.
I mean, we've got projections of what some of the nearby galaxies look like. We've got projections, and they're able to detect planets that are just as far out as that, or further, that are in the Goldilocks zone, that meet certain criteria, that might have what we consider the building blocks of life, because we don't know what else out there would need to survive. So they have the technology to do that. I mean,
it just blows my mind.
It's crazy.
So
oh yeah,
I've seen like space magazines where they show you pictures of 45 billion light years away. I try to wrap my head around it, and I can't comprehend it. I honestly can't comprehend it. I'm not a physicist. By any means, I'm not a rocket scientist. No.
Oh wow, this is news to me.
But I just can't wrap my head around how you can take a photo of something that's 45 billion light years away, and you get a clean picture, and we go on Google Earth and you can't see shit. I'm just saying.
We still have signal from Voyager satellite, or it's just about ready to leave, or
both
just
of them
left.
have just hit interstellar
They both
space.
hit interstellar space. They left our solar system.
That's unreal.
And this was sent up in 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was sent up in the 60s, and it's got for those of you that don't know what the satellite Voyager was, is it's got a gold-plated album with music on it. It's got etchings. It's got pictures of man and woman, so aliens so they know what
mathematics
we look like. Our mathematics, because we feel the theory is that if we're able to communicate with some type of alien life form, it would be through the mathematical equations.
Right.
They think that's just the most common denominator. But it's really interesting. I'm very curious to know what is out there.
And what's being said? What did they determine?
It's just waves. Like it's not actual. Like they're not saying it's any kind of language or
it's
word.
like
It's the
we
lyrics
were-
to Rocket Man.
The cover by Shatner, right? The thing that are we gonna one day be able to like, hey, let's see what this signal looks like and put it to some type of television device, and we're gonna be watching alien TV. It's just getting to us so much longer later. Was it like Galaxy Quest where they got the radio signature from the TV show? It's crazy. In my heart of hearts, I want it to be aliens. I know you're against that. But
I'm not against it.
I'm just
not against it. I don't know. I can't.
they don't have to be here. They don't have to be here.
It's just,
But to know, to like have some type of proof that there is something out there, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but last year and this year, a lot of news media has been covering, like big time news media has been covering more and more UFO stories.
Which
I've
is
noticed an
insane,
increase of.
because I just did research on UFO sightings, and it's been down since in the past year, according to MUFON, which are one of the biggest UFO organizations in the world.
Oh yeah.
According to them, over the past year in 2018, sightings have been down, decreased
So sightings
by an
are down,
insane
but
percentage.
Because our cameras are so much better.
it's,
Could
I
be.
guess the sightings that are happening are pretty big ones though,
But
because we're getting these in the news.
Here's what I wonder with something like this. What, like, this type of thing that's happening, this could have been happening for a very long time. Our technology is improved enough where we're able to detect something like this
Right.
that we weren't before. So this may not be anything new. This
Right.
this could be happening for,
This could just be something is pulsing in space, and it's just that's what happens.
and
The
you think of the size
question
of how
I
vast
have-
space is, I mean, they're just like we can't see the whole sky, we may not be able to hear everything or pick up everything coming from the sky as well. So, I mean, this could be happening again other places all the time.
Would
We
they
just didn't detect it.
Yeah,
were they
yeah.
able to pinpoint like exactly where it's originating from?
No, they didn't say. They just knew the distance, not like, I guess.
My other question is, how long did it take to travel that speed, to travel that distance?
Like how long did it?
Like how long did
did-
those radio
when
frequencies
did
go
the
from
signal
its
get
start
sent? Right.
to here?
Right.
When did it
Yeah.
begin to when did it
Yeah.
reach us?
Like when did it get sent?
Because I don't know what the rate of radio frequencies to space travel is, because you know
1.5 billion years.
Way above my
The
pay
billion light
grade.
years.
You're not a physicist.
I also went to Suffolk Community College. No, didn't do it for
If
me.
you're talking about 1.5 billion light years, you're talking hundreds of years ago.
We're
But that's,
probably a lot more
that's
than
based on
that.
our
It's
technology.
based-
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know.
Our
Like,
technology,
if
right.
it's something else, we don't know how quickly.
You know, who knows? If with advanced technology, it could have taken 20
For
minutes to
all
get
we
here
know,
from where.
for all we know, we're getting the first signs of an alien life, learning how to use radio frequencies. You know, it could be something where maybe we're more advanced. That's possible. Like, there's going to be no communication with us anytime soon, but we could be, you know, something could
So
be
now,
picking
now
up.
that's a theory, because if let's say there's two civilizations, us and this whatever's putting out these signals.
The lizard man.
I'm sure they're lizard men. The lizard men sent out those signals however long ago, and that was when they first learned how to use radio signals. But in that time, they've developed, while these signals are traveling, they've developed so much that they've got the technology to visit us. So we've seen them
So they beat their
on
signal.
the planet before we got their signal.
That's possible for their original
That's what I was
signals.
thinking, 'cause
You would think
I
so.
like it.
You would
That's
think
funny.
so. Again, that's the question that comes to play: is how long does it take for that signal to go from there to here?
That's it. Look what we did. We put out the first televised thing was Hitler, right? From the movie Contact. That was put out there in like,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
late 1930s. And then we didn't develop space travel and to get to the moon until the end of the 60s. That's 30 years right there to even do anything that resembles any kind of space travel.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
does
so wild.
So does that mean eventually space Nazis are going to be coming?
There are
Yeah,
movies
they like
all
the-
about that already. First of all, they're living on the dark side of the moon, and now China, I'm pretty sure, is working with them.
And again, like they said, I mean, it could also be remnants of an exploding star. Who knows? Maybe this is proof
It
of
could
the
be
Big Bang
pulsar or
Theory.
something.
It could be remnants from that.
The echo of the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Bouncing
That
off
would
whatever
mean
the end
that
is.
would mean it's coming back.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Yeah,
it's
it-
just, but
It
this
hits
is
the end.
You know, though, too, this is
The end of
actually,
what?
you've
universe.
heard it a couple of times, so pulsars actually have, they pulse in a certain, amount of time, so it could also be one of those.
Right. The thing is whether we're talking a radio frequency from some kind of transmission that's being generated, or we're talking about energy that's coming from a pulsar. It's going to be so hard to tell one way or the other because theoretically it should be a consistent. It should be a consistent wave regardless, because it's not like if you're sending out one signal, the signal is always going to be consistent. If you're sending out, if it's something pulsating, it would most likely be consistent unless it's rapidly changing and getting ready to blow up or whatever. Then it would probably increase. I'm very curious. I'm curious what the time is too between each signal.
I'm also curious to see how potent the signal was. Like if you were out in the field with a radio frequency meter, could you pick up on it by hand?
I would
I
think
don't-
not.
No,
Because if
I don't
so,
think so.
there's a paranormal team out there that got some false readings.
I actually, there's a clip on the internet, and I forget where I got it. Probably space.
The internet?
The internet.
All right.
The World Wide Web.
Sorry, what is
Interwebs.
The
What is that?
interwebs.
Oh,
The webs.
what is that?
Anyway.
Quite
I
redneck.
heard a clip of it,
Oh,
and
it is?
it's very, very quick. It's just a very quick. Zzz.
Well,
You-
it's not even. These last a millisecond.
Yeah,
we can't.
They
even,
slowed it down a little so you could hear it a little bit, but it was just like. Zzz. So it really wasn't even a very large.
Which means play it at regular speed and it's, like probably doesn't even really make too much
How'd
of a
they even
sound.
catch it?
sensitive equipment.
The beautiful thing
Well, I
about
heard it's
space
Dream catchers.
is it's dream catchers. The beautiful thing about space is it's super quiet. So whenever things are happening, you can try and pick
That
those
we
up.
know
Is
is
it
super
though? I don't
only
think space
that
is
we
that
know
quiet,
of. That
though.
we
I don't-
That we're aware of. I mean, what our science tells
Well,
us now.
We know what a sound is. Basically, what we know as sound is just vibrations over air, and there's no air in space. But there's an air and space museum.
But there's, I
But
mean,
that
you're
doesn't
talking
mean that there's no
about. I
vibrations
think
in
there's
space.
I think there's a lot more sound in space than people think. To be honest.
There probably
There's-
is. We just don't
you
have
have-
the
You
instruments
have
to analyze it.
electromagnetic fields. I mean, and people have recorded those on Earth alone, and it's insane the sounds that makes. You gonna tell me that same sounds aren't in space?
Oh, I'm sure there are. We just don't have the
Yeah,
It's
instruments
just
to
sound as
measure
we
it.
know it. There's
Right.
it's not in the space that we know.
Right.
Like, because there's nothing for sound to travel in.
Right.
So we just don't have it.
And again, these aren't even sounds. I mean, these are radio.
These are just
Right,
frequencies.
They're picking up frequency. They're not picking up specific sounds. And I think it was they were Canadians, the ones who detected this. So
Good job, eh?
Thank you to our brothers from the north.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome. I,
Interesting.
it's just hockey. They're bringing us aliens. So
great. They're gonna teach them how to play hockey, and then these things are gonna be running around with freaking knives on their feet and giant sticks.
Legalized weed.
Not interesting though. Good topic. Good
Yeah.
topic.
What do you guys think about the radio frequencies that are coming into Earth in this intermittent fashion? Do you think it's aliens? Do you think it's just some kind of pulsar beam? Do you think it's some kind of dying star? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. And also you can click the little notification bell to be aware of when all of our videos are being uploaded. So thank you guys very much for joining us, and until next time, take care everyone.